Okay, let's take a look. Basically, we are in the chapter 4. Okay, let's see where are we. So, class, let's take a look. Well, we're in the process of the absorption jhana in the mind door. Okay, why do we come to this area? Okay, class, let me try to recall for you all. We are in the chapter number 4, which means this is a cognitive process. The cognitive process is segregated to two types. One type, the cognitive process involves the organ like this: eye, ear, nose, tongue. Then, next cognitive process is in the mind, manovara, mano. So meaning to say that we got two types. Number one, it will involve both. The second one, just the mind-thought process only. So basically, now we're in the mind-thought process only. So basically, meaning to say that this process can only happen in the mind-thought. Maybe we can, in the modern way, we say that it involves our brain, or maybe involve certain of our chakras. Okay, so this can only happen at that part only. It cannot happen in the eye, ear, nose, tongue. So one of it is the jhana. So today we'll talk about how to experience the jhana and how is the mind door process. So we're going to use it for the vipassana purpose and enhance your confidence for meditation. The reason is it's very clear for you all the detail to enter to the jhana. But I think it is not secretive anymore because everything has been disclosed before. So you just try to make sure you are familiar with it already. So let's continue. The process of the absorption jhana in the mind door. Okay, Sally, can you please read the passage, the process of the absorption?
The process of absorption jhana mind door. In the occurrence of jhanas in absorption, there is no distinction between clear and pure object. Likewise, there is no arising of distillation consciousness. In this case, that is, in the process of absorption, any one of the 8 sense clear jhanas accompanied by knowledge arises and ceases 4 times or 3 times in due order as separation, access, conformity, and change of meaning. Immediately after they cease, in the 4th or 5th moment, as the case may be, any one of the jhanas among the 20 types of sublime or supramundane jhanas enter upon the process of absorption in accordance with the way the mind is convinced. After that, at the end of absorption, there is subsistence into the life continuum. Absorption. Apana primarily signifies a highly developed form of Vika, initial application of mind, which trusts the associated mental state so deeply into the object that they become absorbed in it. Although Vitaka is absent in the jhana beyond the first, because the mind that has entered jhana becomes fixed one-pointed on its object. The word apana comes to be extended to all meditative statements pertaining to fine, material, immaterial, and supramundane planes. There is no distinction between clear and obscure objects. This distinction is not found in relation to absorption because the meditative attainments are only possible when the object is clearly apprehended. In this case, any one of the 8 sense clear jhanas arises when the meditator is about to achieve a jhana, a path of fruition. First, there arises mind without averting. Then, in the same cognitive process as the attainment, immediately preceding it, A series of sense-sphere jhanas run course in quick succession, leading the mind from the sense-sphere plane to the adoption. In the case of whirling or training, these jhanas could be one of the four wholesome sense-sphere chitta, accompanied by knowledge. In the case of an arahant, one of one of the four functional sense-sphere chittas, accompanied by knowledge. In due order, as preparation, etc., in an individual with average difficulties, these preliminary jhanas occur 4 times, each one exercising a different preliminary function. The first is called preparation parikama, because it prepares the mental continuum for the attainment to follow. The next is called access, upachara, because it arises in proximity to the attainment. The third moment is called conformity, annual loma, because it arises in conformity with both the preceding moment and subsequent absorption. The fourth moment is called change of line of lineage, gotra bu. In the case of jhana attainment, it receives this name because it overcomes the sense-sphere lineage and evolves the lineage of subline consciousness. In the case of the first path attainment, this moment is called change of lineage because it marks the transition from the lineage of worldling to the lineage of noble ones, Arya. The expression continues to be figurative for the moment of transition to the higher path and fruit, though sometimes it is designated by a different name, bodhana, meaning cleansing. In an individual with special keen faculties, the moment of preparation, parikama, is omitted, and thus only 3 preliminary sense-sphere jhanas occur prior to absorption.
Thank you so much. Okay. Sally, have you read this passage? Not yet, right? Immediately after this is no harm. Okay. Yeah, raise your hand, please, after finish highlight. Okay. Oh, it's raining now, her class. 你哋係咪收心啊？落緊水啊！依家嗬，冇係咪？冇又係收心係咪 ？Okay 嗬。So let's continue 嗬。Okay, class basically today we go to a very good stages well in abhidhamma, you know or not? Most of us we use for being in the sensual sphere but once the first moment you are transit from a sensual realm to the jhana realm, so this is a very holy moment. Then the second holy moment is we are worldling, we are the worldling normal people, but we have the chances for the transition to transit from worldling to the noble one, meaning to say it's a sotapan. So this moment, these two moments, they will be the first time in our future for this life if we work hard for it. So this process actually tells us obviously how do we change from a very primary moment and then subsequently from one citta to another citta, and then we go through one stages we call as a change of the lineage. So if let's say you are, we are all, most of the time we are in the sensual realm. So once the first time we experience the jhana, we successfully change our lineage from sensual beings to become the jhana. Okay, so this is the first one, change for the lineage. The second one is because we used to become a worldling, but the first time once we experience the noble, the sotapan, so there is another change of the lineage. Both is, if we work hard, we can try our first time in this life, and this is very meaningful. Okay, basically all this, we have one name, we put one name to call them absorption. Basically, what does mean absorption? Usually absorption involves the cetasika involved is the vitaka. Vitaka meaning to say that you try to place your mind to the object. You fully absorb in one object. Okay, but we use them as appanna or absorption. Even though after the second jhana, no more vitaka. Okay, and even though for the what we call it as supramandit, even though you don't see any vitaka, but we still call it as appanna. The reason is because your mind totally fixed together on one pointedness and fix one pointedness with your alambana, with the object. So that's the reason why we still call it as appanna, even though after first jhana, all the attainment for all the jhana and also the immaterial sphere, the jhana, all are considered as appanna. Okay, so this is what we know. So class, let's take a look. Basically, in the next one, we can see the diagram. You see the diagram here, class? Okay, so number one, the table is a 4.4, just next of your pages only, next of your next page of your book. Class, let's take a look. You see, this is the initial moment you attain to the jhana. Class, this is the JH, is the first moment you attain the jhana. Before you attain to the jhana, there must be a change of the lineage, as what I say, the change of the lineage. The change of the lineage is a very special. In Pali, the change of lineage, they name it as a kotabru. Kotabru meaning to say that it involves some kota system. Okay, can you tell me what kota system are you familiar in Malaysia? Kohong. What kota system you are familiar with? In what field?
Educational quota system.
Education. Besides education,
Buying house quota.
Yeah. Maybe on the business also, right? The business or financial allocation. Why? They need a quota system because they want to protect a majority who are the native, we call Bumiputra. So meaning to say that there is a quota for them. Meaning to say that actually both we are non-Bumi. So meaning to say that we are not the lineage, you see. Because here in Abhidhamma, it calls a change of the lineage. Meaning to say the lineage could be changed, but in real life, non-Bumi cannot change to Bumi. You can change the religion, but you cannot change your lineage. But for Abhidhamma, it can happen. So we got two types of the changing of the lineage. You see here. Class, take a look. You see this change of the lineage. So this is from the here you haven't experienced the first jhana, so you're in the sense sphere. After changing of the lineage, so you come to here, the jhana. And same, here's a change of the lineage. Once you have to successfully change the lineage, you can feel it's a PA path and the fruition. One path and two consciousness of the fruition. See or not? Okay. Then here actually they all got the name So before you change the lineage, you need CN conformity. Conformity means what? Conformity meaning to say that you are following the coming consciousness and preceding. You are preceding because of the next. You are about to proceed to the next one, and then the back one is try to follow you. See, so we say conformity. That is the meaning. And then before the conformity, that will be the access. Class, take a look. Is access. Access mean what? Access meaning to say that it is close to the jhana. See, jhana is here, so we have access here. Basically, in jhana, we mentioned there are two types of jhana. One is absorption, first, second, third, fourth jhana. Second, before the achieving of the jhana, you might be in the access concentration. So access concentration meaning to say you are close to the jhana. Okay, but haven't reached to the jhana yet. Okay, Mrs. Leong， 你有嚟過 2D 係咪 ？OK 點先至叫做到開 2D 咧？
去到 2D 嗰度咪到開 2D 咯。
OK， 我問你喺 2D 係咪有一個地方係咪？你一定要搭個腳過開先叫做到 2D。你個腳未搭係咪？你仲係喺 2D 附近嘅啫。嗰個係咩地方嚟嘅？
唔清楚。
我個門你一定要踏入我個門係咪先叫做到開 2D？ 你個腳未入嗰個門係咪？仲係喺 2D 出邊 ？Understand？ OK class basically once you cross you cross the doorstep of the gate so meaning to say just like you attain to that absorption. Absorption. So if you haven't crossed your leg or you haven't crossed the gate, meaning to say you're in the access concentration. So next time, this is how we tell to the people that, whether you're in the access and the absorption. Basically, if let's say, absorption meaning to say that the full development of the 5 faculty. Remember, Vitaka, Vichara, Piti, Sukha, Ekakata. Full develop. Access meaning to say that it is still in the developing process. Usually the nimitta may be not yet transparent. But for absorption, nimitta is fully transparent. Is fully transparent already. So that's a different access. Access, we use this word all the time. Because access concentration is easy for being attained. And some school, they claim that maybe access concentration is enough to do the vipassana, to experience the nibbana. But if you follow the Nikaya, most of the definition of the right samadhi is the jhana, not the access. But access is the rare cases they are able to obtain for the attainment of the concentration. But basically, usually from access to absorption is a little bit difficult. The reason is because we use for being in the sensual sphere. We enjoy with the attachment, and then sometimes we even enjoy the anger. Some people like hate people, they enjoy hating to the people. 有咁嘅人嘅知冇？我憎死你啊 ，Mr. Leong 佢好 enjoy 嘅呢啲係我哋 human 先至有咁樣嘅 tendency 嘅。Then wondering mind，但係冇嘢做，我哋咪咁樣發吽哣咁嘛算咧。Daydreaming，we like it，係咪？我哋中意，我哋慣開啊。So meaning to say that from access to the absorption 係好艱難。But if you attain to the first jhana, from first jhana to the fourth jhana, it will be very easy because they are in the same stage already. You just drop one of the jhana angka factor. That's all. You just drop one by one. Maybe from one sitting to another sitting, you are able from first jhana to the second jhana. Just maybe a few days, you can able to experience the fourth jhana already. But you need time to sustain it. Okay? So class remember because now the controversy issue, some school will keep on claiming that no need to go to a jhana, just in the access enough, or don't waste your time. But the truth is this is not the ultimate ultimate truth from the Buddha. Okay. Then next, let's take a look. Okay. Then this is the PR, is the parikama preparation. So meaning to say that you have to start the preparation, no matter for the attainment of jhana or the path of fruition, you have to prepare first. After preparation, then you go to the assess. Then assess, you go to the conformity. Conformity, go to the change of the lineage. Then you go to the path and the fruition. So this is both lah. So we see the kinbi. Kinbi meaning to say that you are, for those who is more capable, they will be in the kinbi. Kinbi meaning to say that, you see, they skip one thing already. Can you check for me what has been skipped? Mr. Leong, anything has been skipped by the kinbi? You can see the monitor. You can see a screen very easy.
The path.
What? PR, you mean PR? PR is a parikama. PR, Mr. Leong, see, is a preparation parikama. So the parikama will be omit if you are the kin. But average people still need the parikama. From all your face, including myself, I think we are average. We are not the kin one. Right? 睇到我哋樣就知we are the average. So usually we won't skip the parikama. How we know all this? Actually, because during the vipassana moment, you have to observe one by one. And then since you attain the jhana, everything will be frozen. And then let you check easily. So this is the miracle of the jhana. Because time and space have been broken by the jhana. No time and no space the moment you are in the jhana. Okay. So Mr. Leong, remember this is all thing you have to do when you go to join the retreat, must be the Visuddhimagga tradition. They will do exactly like that. Okay, Mr. Leong, got it? This is what you're going to go through later on. But of course, there will be some difference between the practical and the theory. Okay, next. So I finished all already. I finished all already. So after the class, please, you just try to go back all these things again. Make sure you're familiar. You see, I have gone through, you see, everything I already digest and just tell you in a simple language already. But actually, the only thing I can use is the simple language. A little bit difficult also I cannot use with my English standard. Okay, next. Mr. Leong, your turn to read the passage immediately after they cease, please.
Immediately after they cease, etc., immediately after the change of lineage chitta, as the fourth jhavana in an individual with keen faculties, or as the fifth jhavana in one with average faculties, there arises the first jhavana chitta at the level of absorption. This chitta may be one of the 5 fine material sphere chittas, either wholesome or functional, and one of the 4 immaterial sphere chittas, either wholesome or functional, 8, or one of the 4 paths of fruitions 8. Thus, it can be of 26 types. It should be noted that in an absorption cognitive process, the jhana chittas can be of different types, even of different planes, while in a sense sphere process, they are all uniform. In accordance with the way the mind is conveyed, this means that the absorption chitta that arises is conditioned by the direction of the meditator gives to his mind. If he wishes to attain the first jhana, then he conveys his mind towards that jhana thought through the development of calm concentration, samatha, and so too for the attainment of the higher jhanas. If the meditator aims at reaching the path and fruit, then he conveys his mind towards the path and fruit through the development of insight, vipassana. At the end of absorption, after absorption, there is immediate substance into the bhavanga with no occurrence of registration chittas.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, got start a little bit lah. Yeah. Okay, finish. Okay, finish. Mr. Leong, okay,
Okay.
Okay, class, let's take a look. Immediately after the cease, meaning to say that after the change of the lineage, one of the, there will be arises one jhana chitta at the level of absorption. What does that mean? Meaning to say that this jhana, it could be first, second, third, fourth, and it is in the absorption level. So this is what we say. So meaning to say that actually there will be a lot of combination. We use this cognitive process to explain because either normal we are worldling can attain to the jhana, but the sage also can attain to the jhana. And the jhana, we got 2 types of the jhana. Number 1 is the rupa jhana, second is arupa jhana. So we need to say that once you go through all this process, They've got so many possibility lah. So number one is the first number possibility is the jhana could be first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Okay, so this is the possibility as it's mentioned here lah. Let's see. See here. According to here, there will be 5 possibility after the what lah. After the lineage, and then it could be either what functional or the wholesome. So remember, functional is for the arahant, wholesome is for you and I. Why there must be some functional? Remember or not? Why there should be functional? You see, if let's say I meditate together with arahant. So for me, okay, usually. The jhana arises is the consciousness, is the wholesome citta. But for arahant, it has to be functional. Why functional for arahant? Yes, Kohong, do you remember? You don't remember, Mr. Leong, why arahant is functional, but you and I is the consciousness, is the jhana, is the consciousness, not the functional?
Functional because I think that it has to be sustained application.
Okay, wrong already, you're betting. Okay, the reason is why functional is because for arahant, after the meditation, there shouldn't be any karma residue remain. That is the definition of functional. No karma residue. For you and I, after we meditate, attain to the first jhana, basically the karma will accumulate. So if let's say, before we die, the last whole year, we're always in the first jhana. For the first jhana consciousness. Then the moment we die, usually the karma is so strong to bring us to the first jhana, Ram, and then we become a first jhana deva. You get it or not? But for arahant, since arahant, this is the last life of arahant, so what their first jhana produce is the functional, so that no more karma accumulation. Okay, get it, class? Okay, get it, okay. Well, you are all advised to study the abhidhamma again, because the definition of functional is in the chapter 1, but you all cannot answer. Well, it's very normal to study abhidhamma more than one time. For me, I study many times in order to become the teacher. You no need to become a teacher, but at least since you cannot answer functional, meaning to say that you have to, try your best to make yourself familiar. Then during the meditation, Mr. Leong, when you go to the camp, then what they say you understand. Okay? So just go back all the definition. Make sure you are familiar with all of that. Okay. So any question, Mr. Leong? You want to ask something?
Sifu, regarding this functional process, but we know that the arahant does not create any more karma in whatever they do.
Yes, this is correct.
So then the thing is, why must we sustain this functional process?
No. Functional is the label. If you are the arahant, you will attain is the first jhana functional. It's the first jhana functional. But for you and I, we will attain is the first jhana absorption consciousness. That is the difference, because we are still creating the karma. But they don't create any karma, so are using functional to replace the word of the consciousness. Get it?
Oh, that means the differentiate between the earthly functional and the
And the noble.
Arya
Yes.
functional.
No. Functional just specifically used by arahant only, for the noble one only. We are the worldling, we don't use functional.
Okay, understand.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the difference. Okay, you see now a wholesome or functional. Okay, then it could be. Then the second probability is one of the four immaterial sphere. Because class we can use this either to explain for the jhana, rupa jhana or arupa jhana. You can use it to explain for both. Okay, then second you come here, you see here is a very good meaning to say that class let's say during the meditation if let's say you want to do the samatha class, you just try to make sure you observe your nimitta, the concept. Once you observe it, the nimitta, it becomes transparent, then immediately we go to the first jhana, second jhana, third, fourth jhana. You have to abandon the jhana anga factor one by one. I mean, so that you can, you can cross the ladder to go up. But if let's say you know that you want to do the vipassana, you want the nibbana, so after you attain to the jhana, you have to change your object, go to observe the rise and fall of the namarupa. Then you will try, once you observe it, you call it as vipassana, so the final result will be nibbana. Okay, get it? No? So this is the difference between samatha vipassana. Basically, you won't confuse because the definition is very clear. You see, not towards the jhana, you direct your mind to the jhana, you can get the concentration. But if you aim for the path and fruit, you direct to the vipassana. Basically, if you really go through the ancient Chinese texts, they are confused. Why? Because the reason is once you attain a very strong jhana, the joy can just go. You can live with the joy maybe for a few weeks, and then no more defilement appear. So you will confuse. At that time, you will confuse. Am I successful in vipassana or samatha? If let's say the definition not very clear, the fourth jhana you will misinterpret as the arahant, as the fourth fruition. This misunderstanding happened in China Buddhism before. Whereas now you do abhidhamma, you know the definition very clear. I observe the concept, I observe the ultimate truth. You know what you observe. So the outcome will within expectation. It won't go different way. Understand? So you have to really make it clear what are you doing, either samatha or vipassana. So the outcome will accordance what your mind divert to. Okay? Yeah, Mr. Leong, please.
Sifu, regarding the development of insight with vipassana meditation, we have to leave the
Nimitta.
samatha. Yes.
Yes. You have to change your object. Change your object from the concept to the ultimate truth. Concept mean the nimitta. Ultimate truth mean the namarupa. Get it?
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay, yes. Mr. Leong is very smart.
No. Thank you to Sifu teaching.
Okay, yeah. Now we go to the correlation is absorption. Okay. So, okay. Yes, Ko Hong, can you please read the passage? Okay.
Correlation in absorption. Therein, immediately after the jhana accompanied by joy, absorption accompanied by joy may be expected. Immediately after the jhana accompanied by equanimity, absorption occurs accompanied by equanimity. Therein too, immediately after the wholesome jhana, absorption occurs through a wholesome jhana and the three lower fruits. Immediately after the functional jhana, absorption occurs through a functional jhana and the fruit of arahantship. Guide to 15. The purpose of this passage is to establish the correlations between the preliminary citta of the connective process issuing in absorptions and the absorptions cittas themselves. The verses to follow will provide the detailed applications of the general principles stated in the present passage. Summary. Following wholesome consciousness accompanied by joy, 32, class of absorption jhana arise. After wholesome consciousness accompanied by equanimity, 12 class of absorptions jhana arise. After functional accompanied by joy, 8 class arise. And after functional accompanied by equanimity, 6 class arise. For wording and trainees, absorption occurs following a three-rooted wholesome sense-fierce consciousness. For those free from lust, example Arahant, absorptions follow a three-rooted sense-fierce functional consciousness. Herein, this is the method of the connective process in the mind door. Guide to 16. Following wholesome consciousness accompanied by joy, when the preliminary functions in the absorptions process are performed by either of the two wholesome sense spheres chitta accompanied by joy and knowledge. That is, in the case of wording of all trainees, then there can arise 32 chitta as jhana in absorption. The sublime wholesome chittas of the first 4 jhana, those accompanied by happiness, the 4 path chittas at the level of any of the first 4 jhana, and the lowest 3 fruition chitta at the same 4 level. 4 plus 16 plus 12 equals 32. After wholesome consciousness accompanied by equanimity, when the preliminary functions are performed by either of the two wholesome sense spheres chitta accompanied by equanimity and knowledge, also in the case of wording of trainees, then there can arise 12 absorptions jhana, the sublime wholesome chittas of the 5th jhana and the 4th immaterial jhana, the 4th path chittas at the level of the 5th jhana, and the lower 3 fruition chitta at the level of the 5th jhana. 4 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 equal to 12.
Hey, since when I start to abandon all the calculation, which is the nightmare for you all? Since when I start 啦 Sally， 我幾時開始啊？冇講嗰啲 calculation 開啊？記得冇？
I think last year.
It's just truly a nightmare for you all the calculation, the numbering, right?
Actually, yes, very confusing.
Okay, no problem. I keep on abandon it, so let you free from all the mathematics. Okay, let me think simple for you, lah. Okay, okay, let's go. Okay. Yes, Mr. Leong, if you want to forget the calculation, meaning to say we are about to forget these two passages already. The whole two passages is the calculation. Okay, never mind, let me use a simple language to explain to you, no problem. Okay.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, go home, maybe I'll answer your question first, please. Yes, anything?
Sifu, just a question. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a dumb question or it has been answered before.
Okay, yes.
This that
Anything?
always, all these, when meditation is, to a certain stage, you have to achieve, to achieve the equanimity or joy. Or it cannot be say, okay, I have no feeling. I am just calm. There is no joy or any other feeling. Or even the ballet, just to say, to a certain extent, you are not feeling joyful, but you could be maybe a feeling angry or whatever, possible or not.
You mean after meditation you feel angry, you mean?
No. I mean, when it's always like you say, okay, you achieve certain concentration, and then you accompanied by joy, accompanied by equanimity.
Yeah.
Why is it by joy? It cannot be say no feeling or even accompanied by anger, angry, sadness.
It's because of five jhana anka factor, the theory of the five jhana anka factor. Because for those who start meditate, they are trying to develop the five jhana anka factor. Once the five jhana anka factor fully developed, so they will attain to the first jhana. So five jhana anka factor, meaning to say that it's the vitaka, vichara, piti, sukha. Piti means the joy, so it must be accompanied with the joy. Okay, so once you attain to the first jhana, you must be accompanied with the joy. First, second, third, accompany all with the joy, piti, and the sukha. Until to the fifth jhana, you abandon the piti and the sukha, then you will become the equanimity. So meaning to say that actually equanimity accompanied the meditation, fifth jhana accompanied by the equanimity is the highest level. Whereas from the first jhana to the fourth jhana is accompanied by the piti, because accompanied by the joy, because with the presence of the piti and the sukha, mental consciousness there. Okay, that is the reason why. Because the theory of five jhana anka factor, everybody follow one. This is the law of the nature. So we don't have the jhana accompanied by the anger one. That one no need to meditate. I just beat you, immediately you're angry already. So no need to meditate. You are always accompanied by the anger. Once outside always happen. Contrarily with our expectation, that we start angry already. So no need to meditate. Okay, you get it already? It's the law of the nature, you can say it. Yeah, Mr. Leong, please, anything?
Yeah, Sifu, I think we can look into this four Brahma Vihara regarding the ultimate last achievement on equanimity.
Yes. What? You are telling me or you are asking a question?
No, just explaining to let Kok Hong more in-depth understanding. Because we got the four Brahma Vihara, we got mudita, karuna, metta, and then ultimately
Equanimity.
yeah.
Something like that. Because for the four Brahma Vihara, the jhana, the stages is followed to the first, second, third, fourth. You must need the equanimity to bring you to the fifth jhana. So metta, karuna, upekkha, all these just can bring you to the first, second, third only. The reason is because of jhana anka factor. Okay, so actually here, what is the correlations telling to you? Okay, the problem is, let me try to explain, but you can understand only once you have a good foundation in the chapter 1. Class, let's take a look and see or not. This is the jhana, right? So this is the jhana. It could be the first, second, third, fourth, fifth jhana. Okay, well, if the first, second, third, fourth, meaning to say is accompanied by the joy. So number 5 is accompanied by the equanimity. You raise your hand, please, if no problem with this statement. First, second, third, fourth, accompanied by the joy. The 5th is accompanied by the equanimity. You have problem with this statement, please raise your hand. No problem. Okay. So if no problem, easy. Reason why? Because in our consciousness, we also have 4 is accompanied by the joy. 4 is accompanied by the equanimity. So let me show you. So this is the because in order to before you attain to the jhana, you have to. I mean, we are using our sensual consciousness to prepare ourselves to the jhana. We go to the chapter number 1. Okay, then take a look. So this is a sense field consciousness. Class, take a look. You see now. You see one consciousness accompanied by the joy, accompanied by the joy, accompanied by the joy, accompanied by the joy. Then the last 4 one is accompanied by the equanimity, accompanied by the equanimity. Okay, if let's say in order to attain to the first, second, third, fourth jhana, you have to use this consciousness, not rooted in Greek. Sorry, not this. Sorry, it's this. Sense fear, yes, this one. Delusion. So this is the one. Okay, you have to use the sense feel wholesome consciousness. Okay, accompanied by the joy one in order to attain to the first, second, third, fourth jhana. Because first, second, third, fourth jhana accompanied with the joy. And one thing is it must be associated with the knowledge. Associated with the knowledge. So meaning to say that you can only use number 1 and 2nd in order to attain to the first, second, third, fourth jhana, because they have the joy. Okay, so let me show you. So this is the jhana. Class, let's take a look. Now here is the jhana. Okay, so class, let's take a look. You see, first jhana. Once you're able to see together with the zest and happiness, so this is the jhana with the joy. Second jhana, class, you still can see zest and happiness. Third jhana, still can see the zest and happiness. Fourth jhana, still can see the happiness. Then fifth jhana, no more already. Can you follow? That's why, the sensual one, the sensual one, what I mentioned at the very beginning, accompanied with the joy, with the knowledge, both of them can help you to attain to this first, second, third, fourth jhana. Because during in the sensual realm, sensual consciousness accompanied with the joy, then you can, it can only correlate to the jhana with the joy also. Whereas if let's say this is the equanimity class, you see, now you see, this is the fifth jhana accompanied with equanimity. So meaning to say that in order to attain to the first jhana, you have to use the sensual consciousness which accompany with the equanimity. Okay, so which one you can use it is this, is it not? Number 14. Let's see first. Let me check first. Now you see, this is the sense sphere. You see, sense sphere wholesome consciousness. So here, begin from here, you will see accompanied by the equanimity. Accompanied by equanimity. So meaning to say 5 and 6 they are correlate to the jhana with equanimity. Can you follow? Sally, can you follow? Or can 100% follow? Or just half only? 70%. How do you calculate the 70%? Okay, never mind. Okay, if let's say you feel hard a little bit, meaning to say your foundation is not strong enough, if it is valuable for you, you please go back to do the revision listen to our recording or go go to listen to our recording. If I cannot help you, you can look for other master also, other Dharma talk. Mr. Leong, can you follow Mr. Leong?
Trying to follow as far as possible, but then the thing is, this was related 2 years ago when we started. So we have to go back for revision.
So you tell me I'm telling history, you mean?
Yeah, actually, in fact, we are relating the history in relation to this chapter.
So Mr. Leong, you should be proud of it because you are hari ini dalam sejarah, you know. You know a program, they call it hari ini dalam sejarah, you remember?
Yes, there's this program, yes.
Yeah, I got this program. So you should be proud of it, Mr. Leong. You are hari ini dalam sejarah.
But then the thing is, it is good that we know where to refer.
Yeah, you have to know where to refer. So this is my roles to tell you where to refer, Okay? Okay. This is quite related to meditation. So after the class, please revision. Any question you can ask later on, I can answer for you. Okay, we go back to what we stop here. Correlation and absorption, you know already. So all the calculation, we just omit them. Maybe once you study for second time, we'll go back to the second time. Okay, see here, actually all is a calculation. So I think we just forget about them. So we go to the procedure of the registration, and then also is the procedure for what? Besides the registration, one more is the jhana. So the most important part we have gone through already. So we go to the procedure of the registration. Yes, whose turn to read? Just 3 people only. Now, whose turn? Okay, maybe Mr. Leong, you read. Okay.
The procedure of registration. Here, under all circumstances, when an object is undesirable, reception in registration that arise are unwholesome resultants. When the object is desirable, they are wholesome resultants. If the object is extremely desirable, investigation and registration are accompanied by joy. In this connection, at the end of the functional jhavanas accompanied by joy, there arise registration mind moments also accompanied by joy. At the end of functional jhavanas accompanied by equanimity, the registration mind moments are also accompanied by equanimity. Guide to 17. When an object is undesirable, etc., sense objects are distinguished into 3 classes: the undesirable, the moderately desirable, and the extremely desirable. While the desirable object is thus subdivided into 2, all undesirable objects are comprised within a single class called simply the undesirable. According to the Abhidhamma philosophy, this distinction in the qualities of objects pertains to the intrinsic nature of the object itself. It is not a variable determined by the individual temperament and preferences of the experiencer. The Samohavinodani, the commentary to the Vibhanga, contends that when a person considers a desirable object to be undesirable or an undesirable object to be desirable, he does so due to the perversion of perception. The object itself, however, remains inherently desirable or undesirable independently of the perceiver's personal preferences. The Samohavinodani states that the distinction between the intrinsically desirable and undesirable obtains by the way of the average being. It is distinguishable according to what is found desirable at one time and undesirable at another time by average men such as accountants, government officers, burgesses, landowners, and merchants. Whether on given occasion one experiences an undesirable, a moderately desirable, or an extremely desirable object is governed by one's past karma. Thus, the object experienced upon the opportunity for karma to ripen in the form of resultant states of consciousness, vipaka citta. The resultant cittas accord with the nature of the object spontaneously, without deliberation, just as a facial reflection in a mirror records with the features of the face. Through the force of unwholesome karma, one encounters an undesirable object, and thus the resultant cittas in the cognitive process by which that object is cognized will be generated by the maturation of that unwholesome karma. In this case, the sense consciousness, reception, investigation, and registration cittas are necessary unwholesome results. The accompanying feeling is always equanimity, except in the case of body consciousness, which is accompanied by pain.
Kok Hong, you please continue, read this.
Conversely, a desirable neutral or a very desirable object is encountered through the force of wholesome karma, and the resultant citta in the connective process will be generated by the maturations of that wholesome karma. In this case, some four resultant positions will be occupied by wholesome resultants, kusala vipaka. This citta will generally be accompanied by equanimity, except that body consciousness is accompanied by pleasure, and in the experience of an extremely desirable object, investigations and registrations are accompanied by joy. When the object is undesirable, the functions of registration is exercised exclusively by the unwholesome resultant investigating consciousness. Registration in regards to a moderate desirable object is exercised by the wholesome resultant investigating consciousness accompanied by equanimity, or by one of the four great resultants accompanied by equanimity. When the object is very desirable, registration is generally performed by the investigating consciousness accompanied by joy, or by one of the four great resultants accompanied by joy. It should be noted that while the resultants citta are governed by the natures of the object, the jhanas are not, but vary in accordance with the temperament and proclivities of the experiencer. Even when the object is extremely desirable, the jhana may occur in the mode of indifference as wholesome or unwholesome cittas accompanied by equanimity. For example, at the sight of the Buddha, a skeptic may experience citta accompanied by doubt, while at the sight of a beautiful woman, a meditative monk may experience wholesome citta accompanied by knowledge and equanimity. It is even possible for jhana accompanied by aversions and displeasures to arise towards a very desirable object. Again, towards an undesirable object, the jhana may occur in the modes normally appropriate for a desirable object. Thus, a masochist may respond to physical pain with citta rooted in greed and accompanied by joy, while a meditative monk may contemplate a decaying corpse with wholesome citta accompanied by knowledge and joy.
Okay, thank you so much. We have to go through all this together. Okay. Raise hand, please, once finish. 一次過講晒佢呢個 part 啊！誒，Mr. 梁啊，點解頭先讀下會停嘅嚇？Mr. 梁。
I think because of the reception break off and on and off.
Oh, okay, so I let 國空讀啦，You won't surprise
Yes.
You won't surprise. Okay. So now we go to the part we call it as the registration, the procedure of the registration. Class, let me try to recall you where is the registration. So class, actually, we have to go back to this part first. Let's see. Okay. So here we should go. It still is the chapter number 4 class. You see. Third number 4 compendium cognitive processor. So here, class, okay, let me try to show you this. Okay, so class, do you see? Okay, it's supposed to be in the page 155. Can you tell me what is the number for the registrations? Sally, please. What is the page for the registration? What's the number for the registration? Just take a look on the diagram.
17.
Yeah, 16 and 17 is correct. Okay.
Correct.
This is after the jhana. Let me try to make you to recall that this is a complete idle process. Meaning to say that when you see something, you start have arrest, pass bhavanga, vibration bhavanga, arrest bhavanga. Then you try to reflect something or at your 5 door. You erase the eyes consciousness. So remember, for this part, actually is to show this. It show this part, 5 door consciousness. This part, see or not? Once we put the colorful plates and you reflect in your retina, meaning to say that this is the whole process start to happening. Until go to the jhana, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 to 15. Remember, the jhana meaning to say that you start to create karma here, and it must be the great impact and come to the registrations. Okay, so now once we talk about the procedure of registration, there will be a few consciousness involved. Number one is the registration. Second is the determining, investigation, receiving, and the I consciousness. Okay, class, do you remember that for receiving, investigating, determining, and the registration, they exist both in the wholesome and unwholesome? Do you remember or not? Meaning to say, for the determining, it could be wholesome, unwholesome. Sorry. So class, do you remember that actually here, for the investigating, it could be wholesome, unwholesome. Receiving could be wholesome, unwholesome. I consciousness could be wholesome, unwholesome. Do you remember? You don't remember, right? So let's go to the page, chapter number 1. Okay, class, we come to the chapter number 1. So once we go back to the chapter number 1, let's see first. Let me show you this chapter number 1. Okay.
Page 43, I think.
Yes. Let's go back to the chapter number 1. There will be 18 rootless consciousness. Okay, so class, we go to this chapter number 1, list of the table, chapter 1. Yes, we'll go to this rootless consciousness, page 43. Okay, class, you just take a look to your screen, you see. You're able to see the rootless consciousness basically is segregated between unwholesome resultant and the wholesome resultant from I consciousness until to the investigating. I consciousness to investigating. Do you follow? Okay, do you follow? You can follow. Okay, why there must be wholesome and the unwholesome, and also in registration it could be wholesome, unwholesome. It's all because of your past karma. You see, for example, you met Sally and you met Mr. Leong. For example, you like Mr. Leong very much. Okay, you're in the same working office. Okay, and you just somehow you hate Sally. So how do Abhidhamma explain? According to Abhidhamma, he said that basically it's because of past life karma you were met both Mr. Leong and Sally. When you meet them, how is your cognitive process go through? If let's say you met Mr. Leong because you like Mr. Leong a lot, the past life karma arises, meaning to say that the whole cognitive process involve the wholesome or will be happening in a connective process. For either from I consciousness starting to the receiving, investigating. If let's say, and also of course involve one more is the registration. But if let's say you met Sally, so the whole cognitive process, it will begin with the unwholesome I consciousness, unwholesome receiving, unwholesome investigating, and also unwholesome registration. Okay, so this is how Abhidhamma to explain. So meaning to say that it seems that all have been destinated according to the procedure of the registration. Because the whole thing, you are in the passive form. You just met Sally, you hate Sally. So the whole cognitive process, all the receiving, investigating, I consciousness, until to the registration, or is the unwholesome one. Okay, and then you met Mr. Leong, so all turn out from the eye consciousness starting to the receiving, investigating, and last is the registration, or is the wholesome, because you like Mr. Leong, and Mr. Leong for you is the favorable object, and Sally for you is the unfavorable object. Okay, so this is how the Abhidhamma try to explain. He say basically the object is having their own nature, meaning to say that Sally is having its own nature, and then it make it and because due to the past karma, it make Kohong you hate Sally, whereas Mr. Leong is having the past life nature with the good nature. When you met Mr. Leong, you like Mr. Leong, and then the whole cognitive process will happen accordingly. Okay, well, not yet finished. Well, if that's the case, what for learning karma, learning the dharma, if everything had been destinated? Well, for the as what I mentioned, you met somebody you don't like, okay, and then all the resultant, you see, class, this is all is the resultant. You see or not? This is the resultant, you see or not? All is the resultant. All the resultant, it happened accordingly. But we have to remember that if you go to the jhana is something you can change yourself. So meaning to say what? Even though past life, you hate Sally, okay? But since you learn the Dharma, you can change your jhana and make yourself have with a better feeling with the Sally. Or you like Mr. Leong, and you already attached to him already, and again from the jhana you can just through the meditation or through some skills make the jhana you become just have more detachment from Mr. Leong. So that's why just now in the last passage you remember I say Buddha Buddha is a good object for you and I. Buddha is just a good object for you, Yes, right, but not really for the Christian. All Christians say, most of the Christians say Buddha is the demon. Why? Because the perception. Am I right? It's the same. It's the same. So like a Buddha, Buddha for us, it seems in nature it is good. But for since the perception and the jhana running and the activation of jhana, so for a Christian, Buddha is somebody is a demon. So this is an example I try to quote. Like saying a beautiful woman, for normally of the people, they start to they will arise attachment. But for a meditative monk, the way they see the beautiful woman, they become a corpse. They will detach. Why? Because they're using the meditation method so that the beautiful woman, the object come to the brain, they will try to change it, become the corpse, and then no more attachment. See or not? So meaning to say that the vibhaka you can't change, but you can change is the jhana. You get it? That is what we try to bring up for this part. So let's go back to this. See? So this is the one we try to explain with this, the whole passage. Okay, let me show you again the diagram. Okay, so this is the diagram, is in the chapter 4. Okay. So this is the very great object 155. Okay, now class, this is a diagram. So meaning to say that according to the Abhidhamma, basically all these eye consciousness, receiving, investigating, and the registration is destinated. They are the vipaka, which is the destinated. But the jhana, we can change. So that's why when we learn the Dharma, we need to change is the jhana, but not the vipaka. Vipaka is quite hard to change already. So like Hong, you are destinated, hate Sally, and you destinated, you like Mr. Leong. Yes, Mr. Leong, any question, please?
Yeah, Sifu, regarding the Javana that can be changed is because of our right understanding and our volition.
Both. In order to change the jhana, you have to change the perception. Once you change the perception, the jhana will start changing. And because you see, for the jhana could be arise is the wholesome consciousness. It could be the jhana wholesome consciousness also. So you by changing the perception and meditating, you can change the jhana. Okay, Mr. Leong?
Thank you.
Yes. So let's try to go back. So that is the meaning. Okay, let's see. Okay, so just now we highlight a lot. I use a simple way to explain, you see. So the objects, the sense object, basically, you feel desirable, moderately desirable, and extremely desirable. So I don't go so detailed. I just say either is favorable or unfavorable. Favorable means unfavorable meaning to say it's undesirable. Okay. Then I see. So according to abhidhamma, object itself have some intrinsic nature. Okay. I explained already. Object itself got some intrinsic nature. So it depends on the karma itself. This the past karma. So unwholesome karma so make you to match the whole cognitive process. All is undesirable object, then it will appear all is unwholesome karma will appear. From sense consciousness, reception, investigation, and the registration. Same for wholesome karma and unwholesome karma. I explained already. Okay. But one thing we can change is the jhana. See, jhana are not. So why? Because it very in accordance with the temperament and the experience. See or not? So you see, Buddha for a skeptic, they see as a doubt. Beautiful woman for a meditative monk, it is a knowledge and equanimity. It is not attachment. And also a meditative monk will contemplate a decaying corpse with a wholesome citta accompanied by the joy. You see or not? So they're different. And then a masochist, they respond to the physical pain with the greed. You see or not? Actually, pain should be the pain. But for masochist, could have been tiger. So they will take it as a greed. See or not? Any question? Are you sure you don't have any question? Actually, I got a lot of questions for this section during my study time. Actually, the question is in the subject itself got the intrinsic nature. No, I don't want to raise the question which if you feel nothing with it, I better just keep quiet. It is the question you discover itself. It belongs to you. It doesn't discover by you. It is not your question. Okay. So actually, regarding the intrinsic nature is questionable. But Abhidhamma tried to explain it. Okay, let me see first. In this connection, ladies, you go to the controversy issue of Adventitis Bhavanga. Okay, let me try to finish this. In this connection, then we finish the whole thing. Okay, Sally, can you please read the passage in this connection now?
In this connection too, from this passage is to show that it is not only the resultant object, but also the Arahant functional sense here awareness. When an Arahant experiences an extremely desirable object, his jhavanas occur as one of four functional chittas accompanied by joy, and the registration chittas as one of the five thousand accompanied by joy. When he experiences an undesirable or desirable neutral object, the jhavanas occur accompanied by equanimity, and the registration chittas as one of the six resultant accompanied by equanimity. Lady Sajo points out that this correlation between the object and functional jhavanas of Arahant is stated only reference to the natural mode which their jhavanas occur. However, with the appropriate mental determination, an arahant can arouse chittas accompanied by equanimity towards an extremely desirable object, and chittas accompanied by joy towards an undesirable object. Lady Sador quotes in this connection the Indrayabhavana Sutta.
Okay, thank you so much. Sadly, your sound system are not as good as Kok Hong and Mr. Leong. I mean, the bass the bass is too strong. The treble is not enough. Kok Hong, your reading is very good. 你好夠氣啊，中氣好夠啊 ，WiFi 又 strong 嗬。Mr. Leong 有氣，但係個 WiFi 唔夠 strong，讀到下會唔見開。啱冇 Mr. Leong？
That's the difference between desirable and undesirable, lah, Sifu.
Yes, favorable and unfavorable. Yes, always the past life karma, but we change with our jhana. Okay, okay. Just a little bit thing only. We finish it lah. Okay. The second paragraph already answer what Mr. Leong questioned just now. So Mr. Leong just now you question how can you change the jhana? So you see one of the ways this appropriate mental determinations. So for arahana, with the appropriate mental determinations, you can just arise equanimity for the extremely desirable object and also undesirable object. Basically, equanimity is good if you met the extremely desirable object. Okay. Because sometimes when we met extremely desirable object, somebody you like or something or some food you like, you will just keep on eating it until you hurt yourself. So actually, we should have some equanimity to the extremely desirable object. Okay. So that is the meaning here. Okay, then here you see the same. Arahant have a functional sense-free jhana, same only for Arahant. If the object is the desirable object, so he will arise the function citta accompanied by the joy. If the desirable object is a neutral, accompanied by the equanimity. Okay, finish. So in next chapter, we will continue with the adventitious bhavanga. Adventitious bhavanga meaning to say that if you inborn, it's a very optimistic character, or you are opposite character. So in Abhidhamma, how are we going to use the investigating to neutralize the whole consciousness, collective consciousness? Okay. So we stop here the class. So class just do some revision as you need for the meditation. Okay. Okay. So palms together. Mind on. I wish to inculcate
I wish to
inculcate
inculcate
more favorable consciousness
more
more
favorable
favorable consciousness.
through transferring merit
through
Through
transferring
transferring
merit
merit
to my past life enemy and relative.
to my
to my
past life
past
enemy
life
and
enemy
relative.
and relative.
May they be liberated
May
May
they
they
be liberated
be
and free from suffering,
and
and
free
free
from
from
suffering,
suffering,
attain nibbana,
attaining nirvana,
and helping others to do the same.
and
and
helping
helping
others to do
others
the
to do the
same.
same.
Yeah, Mrs. Leong.
Thank you, 师父的教导。
Sadhu,
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 Sadhu, sadhu.
哎呀，都冇學到，一下嚇到你開。OK，拜拜。